One, two, three. Welcome everybody today to Mom and Dad Talks, where our favorite people are Mom and Dad. And today we got Mom and Dad. We have Hanite and we have our friend Wendy Monroe, one of my classmates from grade school, way back in the day. Good to see you, Wendy. And what's the dog's name again, Wendy? Tucker. All right, yeah, good dog there. So today's subject, because we talk about the Second Amendment, talks about the right to bear arms, right? And it's there to protect, but the assault rifle at one point was banned, and then they brought it in, and now it's like the favorite choice of people, taking out lives, especially the AR-15. So Mom and Dad, I'm gonna start with you all. What do you guys think about this?
The right to bear arms. I have the right to bear arms, but I do not have the right to go out and kill somebody just because I want to shoot somebody. Now that's the problem I have. I have the right to bear arms, but I need to be somewhere where I need to bear those arms. I need to do that. Just to have the right to bear arms and to go out and shoot anybody I want to shoot, I'm struggling with that kind of law that they don't do something about.
Dad?
Well, I feel the right to bear arms is a constitutional, right. But when you get to assault weapons, there's only one reason that you have an assault weapon, is that is to kill people. If you're a hunter, you're not going to go out hunting deer with an assault rifle.
What is the right? What is the right to bear arms? What is that?
You got to protect yourself. You got to remember at the time. Well, at the time the Constitution was written, remember we were at war with Britain, and you have to use it for hunting because to protect yourself from the elements, right? You had wild animals, you had dangerous situations where people would attack you, and you had to protect yourself. So rather than waiting on the militia to come or the Britons to come, they thought, hey, having the right to bear arms, that was the philosophy behind that, to protect yourself against an imminent attack. It's a defense mechanism, but it was also an offensive in case the British came back. Hey guys, pick up your arms and we'll be ready to attack. In fact, Dad, you grew up with firearms growing up as a hunting. You used to hunt with your dad, and you would show you how to shoot and everything like that. Especially in the country, that's just kind of a thing. Deer, you like some of y'all like venison, but some of y'all vegetarian now, so probably deer meat ain't your thing no more. But that's what it originally was, and we're going to get back with you in just a second. But Hanite, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, that's a wide range. First of all, when I think of ammunition and all of that, guns, I think, why do I need that? Me. I know that they're needed outside of my understanding, but why do I need it? Tiny brief story. I used to drive an armored car, and even driving an armored car and not even going into the bank, I had to carry a gun. And for my training, what brief training I had, he said, you don't pull it. You don't pull your gun unless you intend to use it. So even something as small as what I had, I think it was a 357 or something like that.
357.
Yeah, it can do some harm.
Okay, that's a small gun. All right, keep on going.
Well, I mean, you're talking about an AR. You know what I mean? So one doesn't do it. They all do damage, but one will probably do more damage than the other. And so I kept that in my mind. and didn't, I think I pulled it out one time and just tapped on the window because this guy was shaking the armored car.
Oh,
He and so I just tapped on the window and he ran away. So
I got something for you. Keep all this up.
You want to play around? You want
Yeah.
to play around? And so when I equate that with what they're doing today, I mean, they just carry guns just to carry them, and so that's confusing to me. I almost don't know how to, I don't know how to talk about it because I don't understand how you just carry a gun down the street.
And you bring up a great point because I also want to hear Wendy's stuff because Wendy, you work in a trauma center. Unfortunately, you see a lot of unfortunate situations where the gun is used and the carnage is given. What are your thoughts?
All times of the day, like people are just shooting. I mean, we'll get gunshots in the morning, gunshots in the afternoon. There's like no rhyme or reason to it. I mean, like I know you have the right to have a gun, but yeah.
And I think when I was coming up, you could even play pointing guns at people because there was the sanctity of life, and I just think that people do not believe in the sanctity for various reasons. I know video games are out there. They've been, and I know violence on TV and everything, movies and stuff like that, where life is just not considered anything. And I think we're also dealing with another deeper issue here is the respect of life. And are you stable enough to respect life in that situation? Because people would think if someone is in enraged situation, they don't care what's going on. They're just going to use the gun. They're just going to just shoot somebody because I feel like it, not really in a protective situation because, they're trigger happy. Are they stable mentally? That's a question that we all have to ask, right? Should we give it into the hands of people that are not stable, that would just use it? And, I'm saying there's a lot of questions behind there, but, I know we're coming up to the minute there, but what's your thoughts, Mom?
Right now, every time I go into a grocery store like Walmart, Martin's, any kind of store like that, I'm looking around for somebody that's looking like they may want to shoot. So we just have to be visual and not think that everybody out here is sane. Because there are there are a lot of insane folks that are ready to fire up a gun, and I'm just looking around
because you don't know. The last time, like when I went to see Top Gun Maverick, I literally sat in the back row
so you could see what.
Well, yeah, because I needed to know
who's coming behind
me.
Coming up behind, right?
People are crazy sometimes,
right?
And some people have a fascination with guns.
Yeah.
They're fascinated with them.
So they need to go to a country.
Well, I think we had a real good idea here. Instead of make the bullets real expensive.
Yeah, $1,000 per bullet.
Make the bullets extremely expensive. So that way, when you use a bullet, it's really in a dangerous situation.
That's right. You can have a gun, but
yeah, you can have a gun. You have right to bear arms. So you want the bullets?
That's a good idea.
Because when you make things cheap, when you make the life cheap, think about it. A round of bullets, I don't know how much they cost now or anything like that. But you just cheapen life because they're so cheap. Hey, I can just go out and kill, but you make them bullets expensive. If you go use it on somebody, that's $20,000 on 20 bullets, $6,000. I just think you need to bring the prices of bullets way high, so that way when you use it, it's because you are in trouble. Because otherwise, you see that money go out the door real quick.
Just like a pack of cigarettes. It used to be 35 cents a pack. Now they're like $7 a pack.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So break the price high on anything that's out there that people love.
Yeah.
And they love guns. So
or just stop making bullets.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, but you got to remember, people are selling guns to anybody, anybody, as long as they can pass a sobriety test
and have,
to make money.
Yeah.
To make money.
way to get them.
Oh yeah.
You know, so even if you make the bullets high, they're going to, you know, somebody's not going to like it because they're not making money.
Well, and like I said, at the end of the day, you know, it's like with the cigarette companies, you know, they make it such accessible and they target certain people with fear. I mean, you know, I just think that this country is being run more by fear than love.
It is.
And,
Right.
And I think that's a shame that, you know, we used to be a country that loved one another, that took other people's people in and try to, you know, and brought them into this American culture and say, hey, we can be a melting pot. Now we become a dividing situation here, unfortunately, that I'm hoping the good people of America will come together and say, you know, enough's enough. Let's start loving one another and doing the right thing and not be fearful of one another. But we live in a polarizing society because people get pumped with fear, unfortunately. And hopefully that changes at some point. But, you know, God is a God of love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if we are a Christian nation, the Christians should have more love than the other folk.
Yeah. Right.
We should have more tolerance than the other folk. We should have
More patience.
More patience than the other folk. That's what Christ did. I mean, he died a violent death and he did nothing but help people. Right. And now you know, as Christians, we should follow suit and love more than hate. Right. But we're starting to turn Christian people using the Christian name are starting to do some crazy stuff here. So I you know, on that note, folk, I'm gonna leave with this thought here. Hopefully, this gets addressed, whether they ban the assault rifles again. You know, you know, I mean, you get 1 or 2 or 3 shots, you're not going to kill 15 people. Unfortunately, you may kill 1 or 2. A life is still expensive, right? You know, they add more to the dollar sign of the bullet, so that when you lose the bullet, that's the cost of your car. You know what I'm saying? so I mean, you know what I'm saying, or your house. You know what I'm saying? There are ways you can do this, but we'll see what happens here. But hopefully, we get the ball rolling. Of just changing this thing of, you know what, just love our brother. But as you know, this is the other last days. The Bible has talked about men will become violent, and because the love of many shall wax cold. This is what we're seeing. The love of many are waxing cold. So today, let's just hope, if you are a true Christian, show some love, some real love, not in name only. All right, till next time, we'll see you on Mom and Dad Talks.